call or, the call from wherever your answering service. And if you don't, which one time I did not in my 25 years because I was out of range in a rural area, and I bet you it was 20 to 25 minutes before the beep came through, delayed. I called the ER. Do you know I was reprimanded by the hospital? I mean, not like I didn't get written up or anything, but they were like, it's been 24 minutes. Why didn't you call within the 15-minute window? And I said, I'm out in a rural area and there was a patch where we are. But my point to you is, even though I was in the rural area, I was within 30 minutes of the emergency room because I knew that was required. So let's go back to Fry and let's go back to Payne. To me, it was and it continues to be troubling and stunning that they were not within 30 minutes of being present at the scene of a quadruple murder. They waited. They said they were out of town 4 hours. You can't do that. That's beyond irregular. Then they have to have an on-call first responder from their department.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
You see what I'm saying, man? So I know I'm going on and on, but for me, I'm sorry. Let me say one thing. For me, it has absolutely nothing to do with the PCA, the sheath, the this, that. Yes, all of that has begun to pile up, but I'm talking about the fundamental statements and procedures and protocols that, to me, were broken at the get-go.
Yes, I agree. that I'm a retired firefighter EMS.
Yeah, I know you are.
From the very beginning, why did we not go in? Why were we held back?
Exacto. You guys weren't allowed. Yes.
That's right. And that's what I'm saying. That's protocol. And I called everywhere. I called multiple different areas. Standard operating procedure. When a call comes in for an unconscious person, you'll know this as a doctor, that EMS is automatically rolled with PD or before.
Absolutely. No, because I was a director of a clinic out in Western Jersey. Unfortunately, we had a very high-risk population. We probably called 911 3-5 times a week for really ill patients, cardiac, respiratory, babies. Yes. Police would arrive, PD would arrive, and within probably 2 minutes, right behind them came ACLS, EMS. Yes. Right behind them. It was like peanut butter and jelly, salt and pepper.
That's it. 100%. That's the best way to put it. I love that. So why were they held back? Why was the coroner held back? What was going on that they had to keep the people that should have been there? That's why EMS should have been in the PCA as well as the first responding officers, because that's how it works. No,
absolutely. They weren't. No. And I've been in many situations where the PD comes in to the 911 call and they're like, the person looks fine to me. I'm like, no, hello, you're not the EMS and you're not the physician. The person does not look fine, but they're ready to sort of punt. And then EMS comes and they say, no, move aside, and they do their business.
Yes, ma'am.
We all have our roles, and those important, cardinal, crucial roles were pushed aside.
And that's a big.
You're there for a reason too.
Huge thing for me, because I understand we have the police officers are trained in some. BLS, basic life supports, things like that to help.
Oh, they do. And they do. Sometimes they'll put oxygen on, whatever. I've been in rural areas where they're
Narcan now, all that stuff. Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely correct. I've never seen a scene. I've never seen a scene this extreme either, but I've never seen a scene where the police have not arrived before us and we come in behind them with our bags on our shoulders and our equipment, and they step to the side so we can check the situation to ensure, yes, these people are deceased. Where and why are they deceased? Where are the wounds bleeding from? So on and so forth, which was another reason I had an issue with the fact that they were held out. Therefore, they didn't see that sheath on the bed.
Exactly.
That's a problem for me. So
that's all. And then you saw it with the police. I don't know if it was CJ or Lana, or maybe it was you. I don't remember. I think it was actually Lana recently showed a prior to this quadruple murder, back in August of 22, there was some guy that took an overdose. Maybe he had some sort of like pot, cannabis oil. I don't know. I don't remember, but he was like,
somebody put it in his drink.
Exactly. Right. And he was like, I feel weird. I feel this. I feel that. And the police responded, no EMS. That police office, and the guy was paranoid. He's like, they're surrounding me. I feel weird. And the guy said, well, do you have any roommates at home? He's like, no. Why don't you call a friend? He called a friend. The friend was like 30 minutes away. The police officer was like, just go in and relax. I'm like, just go in and relax. This guy merited an EMS evaluation and a possible transfer to the ER because, like the fentanyl thing, that guy, Caden, I think it was, he was dismissed from he was dismissed from ER after a fentanyl overdose. It is very possible that he was dismissed and then he had a rebound over an hour later. So we don't know with these weird synthetic opioids. So how could this officer? The officer didn't even take a blood pressure. So I guess I'm watching all of this and I'm just rattling at the mouth, and I feel like I'm like really getting a little pissed. So I have to hang up now because I'm getting my
Right. You're starting to replay it in your head. And
I'm sorry. I'm replaying it. I'm upset.
Right.
I'm upset.
We appreciate you, Jrod, very much. We do.
Yeah,
the whole community
so awesome.
does. I hope you know that. We really do.
No, I'm sorry if I'm sounding so impassioned, and I apologize to the chat, but this has really been on my mind and my heart. And thank you for listening to me. And I will go back into chat and be quiet now.
No. Thank you so very much for for expressing how you feel and your thoughts on this. We do appreciate you so very much.
All right. Okay, guys. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dave, for bringing me up.
Yeah, 1 second, sir. Let me see if I can get Miss Patty to hear. Can you hear me, Patty?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Patricia? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I turned my mic up. Sorry, I got a new mic. I don't know how to use anything. I'm trying to anyway.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say this fast.
Okay.
But everybody needs to have their eyes wide open and a head on a swivel. This is our world. You should be scared.
I agree.
This is not the normal. We can trust all the police. They're here to protect us. Have y'all not? The thing that Dago was in Rory's live last night, those videos we watched, if you watch, I think it's the last one, the police, look, there's something not right.
We're covering that today here after we're done with this.
I don't sleep good at night. I had dreams about them, and I don't know these kids, but my mama, anytime something happened to a kid, she had a lung transplant. She found out it was a 12-year-old's lung. The only thing she could say was, that's somebody's baby.
Yes.
Aww.
I had Kiely and Maddie because everybody's just like, let the house get tore down and everything else. And it's my conscience probably, like, I don't, get in all this other stuff, but I'm just saying when they're screaming, don't just let this go. There's more to this. This is bigger than Idaho. And if your kids are going to college, you need to be scared, and everybody better be ready to stand up. The FBI, y'all, this is much bigger than Idaho. And if we don't do something, these kids are given this stuff and they're used as test dummies. They manipulate them.
Starting soon.
They do what they do. How does that happen? How do 4 people, you know why they did that? That scared somebody. So somebody didn't open their mouth. And that's what that is. And that's why nobody's talking. I don't know that Fry has anything to do with it. To me, he went with his wife somewhere and he did have somebody on call. But I guess because it was so horrific to me, he kind of looks like the dummy, and I'm not being mean. But I think they're corrupt. Interviews, he's saying stuff, but they're telling him to shut up, and they could be threatening his life. Like, this is bigger than just one place. And so people are not going to say anything, but if you're sending your kid to school, it's not just in Idaho. You need to conversations with these kids, whatever they think. If they're stressed out, they want to do something to relax, do not watch your drink when you go off. Don't do this, because they get in it and they can't get out. And then that's what happened to these kids. And Dylan is evil. I'm sorry. There's no other word for it. If you look at the girl's eyes, she is the ringleader in all this. I believe that's why Bethany's name wasn't mentioned, because I think Dylan was told to keep Bethany at bay, and Bethany flipped out. I think that's the one that flipped out when she figured out everything that happened. But these kids' lives are being in trouble, and I do not think, I'm sorry if anybody gets mad at me, Dylan is state of shock. My state of shock is if I'm not calling 911, I'm screaming to the heavens. Okay. I'm not staying in that house. I mean, are you serious? No. I'm not taking up for Bethany saying she's completely innocent, but I'm sorry. I think Dylan is the ringleader. My cousin died